Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Tyler. This is going to be another video request coming from a person named Aki. If I pronounced your name wrong, I simply apologize to you if I did or not. And I want to simply say to you, thank you for taking the time to ask me to do a video request pertaining to how to know if someone is trustworthy. And I'm not just only doing it for this person's sake, but for every single person out there that is watching this video. And I just want to go on ahead and get started talking about this topic. How to know if someone is trustworthy. And this is sign number one, and that is, if you go tell maybe one or maybe two or maybe more of your secrets to a person, and then this same person tends to keep it to his or herself, maybe one or two or more of your secrets to his or herself without even letting nobody know, and doesn't tell nobody else about maybe one or two or more of your secrets, then in other words, that is a sign of a trustworthy person. And you know the reason why is simply because that person knows that he or she made an oath with you, and that person said, it is sacred with me. That's what that person has probably told to you, and that person knows with his or herself that it is sacred and it's not going to be told to nobody else. Rather, it might be family members, rather it's so-called co-workers, or rather it might be acquaintances or low lies that is in the street. In other words, that person is signaling to you it is sacred. It is not going to be told at all. And let me just go on ahead and go into the next sign of how do you know if someone is trustworthy. And this is a person that is always committed to his or her word. If you find a person that always committed to his or her word, such as that person always is there whenever that you and that person has scheduled or planned to meet up somewhere, or that person says that he or she is going to do it on that particular day, and that person is always does it whenever that person is said he or she is going to do it. And I want to also add on to this. Now, if something had came up and both of you had planned something for that particular day, that person will always let you know before ahead of time or right at the last moment that something had came up, or that person sit there and will always let you know, okay, that person, that he or she cannot do it at that particular moment, at that particular time, just because of something had came up. If you find a person doing all of these things of what I had said a moment ago, then in other words, that is a trustworthy person, and that is a sign of a trustworthy person. It's simply because that person is letting you know, okay, I am not here to deceive you. I might have had a delay, maybe once or maybe twice, or something had came up, but I am still here and committed to you. That's what that person is sitting here saying, that I am not here to deceive you or anything like that. That person is saying that he or she is committed to you 100%, no matter what. Because understand this, things do come up, and you have to understand that, people. And that person, if that person is telling you that something had came up ahead of time, that he or she is supposed to do something, or if that person had told you, well, both of you had planned something, and that person tells you ahead of time, or something had came up, that person is still telling you that he or she still cares about you. Still cares about you. And that's a major sign that that person still cares about you, and that person is not going to leave you hanging or leave you high and dry at all. And let me just go on ahead into the next sign of how do you know if someone is trustworthy. And this third sign is going to be an unusual one, and that is that person does not never touches your stuff. And that person don't never go dabbling in your stuff, or go never messing with something valuable of yours, or never go touching your computer, and going into personal information that he or she does not have no business going in. And whenever that you have a person that does not never dabble in your stuff, does not never go messing into your computer, or never touching your stuff, or never touching your cell phone, or anything like that, and that person knows to ask for your permission before going, touching it, or going messing with it, then in other words, that is considered a trustworthy person. And you know the reason why is simply because if that person go mess with that computer and mess around in personal information, or mess with something valuable of yours, and if that person go steals it, that person will know that there are consequences that are going to be ending up with it. In other words, that is going to break the trust bond between you and that person. And that person knows that, and that person has enough respect to know that he or she is not going to touch nothing valuable of yours, or go into your computer, or go into your files, or go into your stuff. Because if you find a person going into your stuff without your permission, going into something valuable without your permission, that is considered a disrespectable person that does not know how to respect nobody's stuff, and does not know how to respect nobody. Because I'm going to sit here, I'm going to tell you something. A person that is always touching stuff without even thinking of nothing like that, and just always, every time that you turn around, that's a sign that you need to watch out for. That person might be a thief. And I want to go into the next and the last sign, and I know a lot of you probably know this. Now, if you find that person, every time you turn around, if you go tell that person something, that person don't never go around telling none of your business. They'll never go running their mouth about your business to nobody. And that if you have a person that every time you turn around, that person don't go running their business, running telling other people about your business, then in other words, that is a sign of a trustworthy person, because that person ain't going to sit there and tell everything that everybody else about what is going on in your life. And then, in addition to that, it ain't even none of those people business who has the audacity enough to want to know. But I sit there and I would say this again, that if you find a person that does not go running telling none of your business to other people, and when you tell it, then in other words, that's a trustworthy person. And I'm just going to go on ahead and cut this video short. And for those who liked and enjoyed this video, I give you the invitation to please subscribe to this channel, because you'll receive weekly content on a weekly basis. Thank you, and have a great and awesome day or evening, people.